Welcome to Holding Space with Authentically Amy. This is a place where you don't have to perform, prove, or hold it all together. You're allowed to exhale, to feel, to speak, or just be. Here, your truth is safe, your emotions are honored, and your soul is gently invited to the surface. I'm not here to fix you because I don't believe you're broken. I believe your soul already knows the way. My role isn't to give you advice, but to hold a steady frequency of love so you have space to rise. This podcast is an extension of my own healing. If you're here, you belong, and I'm honored to sit beside you. Welcome back to another episode of Holding Space with Authentically Amy. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for tagging along and for watching another episode. I am honored to have Tara with us today. Tara, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, it is my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm already loving every second that we've had, even before we are recording.
Of course. Yes, this is going to be so much fun. As I do with all of my guests, I want to start by offering to hold space for you. That's what this is about. I'm here to hold space for you. So, whatever feels heavy on your heart or like it might help to talk about, I would love to hold space for you. So, I'm just going to turn it over to you and allow you to take it from here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for offering to hold space for me. And I feel that in my heart chakra instantly, just that love, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it. What I would begin by talking about, which is why I was very drawn to the name of your podcast, was Authentically Amy. It's what I do. It's what I work in my life is all about authenticity. However, it's what I struggle with most.
Mm,
I have been a weight loss coach, a mindset coach. I have been that for 13 years and I love it so much. However, I recently have stepped into a new calling. And so, where I would ask you to hold space is me feeling like I can't be me. It's not
mm,
safe for me to step into this space and just be me because of my fear of abandonment and judgment and losing people that I love and all the limiting beliefs that tell me I'll lose everything if I choose to be me is
yeah.
where I would ask for your holding space.
Yeah, of course. Gosh, that hits me in my heart because I have been there. I've been exactly where you are, where you just described, where I was afraid to be who I was. The
Mhm.
people were telling me who to be and telling me what they expected of me, and I was raised to be a certain way, and
Mhm.
I fell in line. I was really good about meeting expectations and
Yeah.
doing all the things I was supposed to do, and be the person I was supposed to be, and you know, sometimes I pushed the boundaries just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, I did everything that I was expected to and became the person I was told to be. And it took something brutal, just going to use that word, something brutal to really shake me out of that and help me to see that, yeah, that's not really what's best for me. And that I can't really fulfill my mission and my purpose on this earth that I came here for if I'm
Right.
continuing to do that.
Yeah.
And I had to come to this place of deciding, is it more painful to continue to pretend, or is
Hmm.
it going to be just as painful, which this is exactly what happened. It's going to be just as painful, if not less so, to embrace the authenticity and be who you are, step out into that.
Right.
It's painful either way. At the beginning, embracing authenticity can be painful, but it
Yeah.
doesn't stay that way. It doesn't stay there.
So
So
true.
I would love to know more about, anything specific that you have in mind that you would like to talk about, specifically that I might be able to help with, or just to sit here and hold space for you and allow you to talk more about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I love your perspective so very much. And the phase that I'm in is where I've been before. Something that you may probably don't know and listeners don't know is that I weighed 338 pounds and was morbidly obese. And
Mm.
I lost 220 pounds on my own, a lot of struggles, a lot of poor choices.
Wow.
And then I became a weight loss coach, and that was hard for me. Like, who do you think you are to be a weight loss coach, right? So
Yeah.
I've went through this already of being so afraid to say. I remember the first time saying, "I'm a, I well, I mean, I'm a weight loss coach." Like, it was so hard for me to spit it out, and
Yeah.
then 13 years of just loving it and shifting to mindset and being in that space. And that was a struggle for me to allow myself to be a mindset coach because I struggled with suicide and attempted suicide. So there again was that judgment of who am I? And now, as I'm stepping into the calling as an intuitive healer, that is almost more difficult, Amy, because this is a calling that literally came and grabbed me and said, wake up, it's
Yeah.
time. You're a healer. You've always been a healer, and we need you to start showing up. So, this is a different experience for me of not choosing it for myself based on my life travels and journey. And this is something that actually my sister who passed away started to speak with me, started to talk to me,
Oh,
started to bring me
oh,
messages. And
I love
she's the
that.
one. Yes.
Wow.
Her name is Trisha, and she's the one that brought me into it. She's the one that helped me realize who I am and who I was created to be. So,
What is hitting me right now is the work that you did with your journey to becoming a weight loss coach and then a mindset coach. Like that was just part of the path. Like
yeah.
that was helping you learn what you needed to learn to be able to get to where you are now, to be able to embrace those things,
Yeah.
which with those things you lived through, that you were using your lived experience to help others, things that you used in your life that helped you, you're
Yeah.
sharing it with others and using that as a way to help others.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
those experiences helped give you the lessons and all of the things that you needed to learn to be able to be at this point to move forward with this mission that your sister has brought to you. And
Yes.
it's hitting me so deeply. I feel emotional. Like it's
Mm,
such a big thing that I want to commend you, first of all,
thank you.
for owning it, and and number two, for stepping out here and saying the words out loud and claiming like this is who I am and what I do now. Even if we don't feel adequate, which that's exactly the way I was at first when I first
Yeah.
became an authenticity expert. I didn't
Right.
feel adequate to do that, but I knew that that's what I was supposed to do. And
Love
I
it.
think that's part of the step. That's one of the steps. You know, do you feel that a lot of the things that you learned in those first two journeys have led you to where you are now?
Oh, absolutely. And when I think back of my years, even as a weight loss coach and mindset coach, and I think about my life path and the experience that I had, I've always been an intuitive healer. Always. I've always had the ability to have that intuition to speak to loved ones. I've had that, psychic and mediumship ability. It's always been there. I just in my mind didn't think that little old me could be that cool, could like be that powerful in my mind. Like there's
Yeah,
no way. And so then I would have loved to have been able to say that, right? Just because I thought it was amazing to have that ability. However, now when I realize I have it and people are like, I'm like, okay, I don't want it
yeah.
anymore.
Yes, right?
Right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about people's perspectives and then acceptance. And that gets in our way when it becomes, to authenticity. We allow other people's choices or actions or thoughts to define us. And it's learning to not. And I work on that in my program with my women. I work so hard as a coach with my women. And that's one of the biggest pieces of weight loss is learning how to shift out of who you've always been in order to become who you desire to be. And so I work in the space. It's not uncommon for me to have these conversations. However, we've now shifted the conversation to be on me and to be working through this on my own. So, as the saying goes, your mess is your message. And that very much is where I'm at. I'm in the unravel of allowing myself to let go of who I've been to become who I'm meant to be.
And that can be such a beautiful place. Like
Yeah.
people, why did this word come to mind? I was going to say poo poo. People poo. I don't know. Apparently, that's the word I'm supposed to say. People poo poo the process, the unraveling, the messiness of it all. But
Yeah.
that's where you gain all the things that you need to learn and to gain to be able to do what you need to do on the other side.
Yes.
You're talking about, it's reminding me that I do a lot of work with self discovery, part of authenticity. In my framework, the very first step is self discovery.
Yeah.
And we have to learn because my business is called Polish the Mirror. So we have to polish the mirror to be able to remove the things that are not us so that we can
Ah,
see an accurate reflection of the things that are us. But we
yes.
have so many layers on top of our mirrors, expectations and roles and hats that we wear, things that people are telling us we're supposed to be, that we can't even see our reflection clearly. So
Yes.
self discovery is a very important piece of being able to figure out who we are beneath all of the noise. And it's not an easy thing. It's an
No.
uncomfortable place. It's messy. People don't want to go there. They have emotions that they have pressed down, that they've folded neatly and nicely and tucked way down in there, never to surface again. And when I
Yeah.
say you have to allow them to surface, they're like, oh, no, no, no. That's where
Yeah.
the healing comes. Like, that's where we have to
Yes.
get to. And I
Yes.
mean, I know that you deal with similar things, even on a spiritual level, that
Right.
people see that differently. And when people were telling me, that maybe they don't agree with, have you thought about this? Or I don't know if that's such a good idea. They all had my best interest in mind from their perspective. But what
Yeah.
I had to come to understand was they were projecting their fears onto me.
Yeah.
I
So
just
true.
got back from England, where
Okay.
I spoke at the University of Oxford. Over
Love
there,
it.
I introduced my authenticity framework over there. And I got so many messages while I was gone and when I came back about how did you get over the fear of being there by yourself? How did you get over the fear of flying over the ocean? All of these
Really?
fears that people were
Really?
projecting on me. And I said, like, I recorded a video and I said, I didn't have any fears at all. I don't live my life in a state of fear. That's not how I
Yeah.
live my life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that it's part of awareness. We have to understand when these people are telling us, oh gosh, that's not a good idea. Like, that's weird. You're so woo woo or whatever. I've heard all the things too.
Right.
Like, that's their fear.
Yeah.
And I, they, most of the time, they are not happy with the way their life is. And so they're
Yeah.
projecting that on us too. And I
True.
have learned to allow myself to be like Teflon and just allow it to just flow off, and that it's not about them. I get to live my life. I get to choose how I live my life, and they can say what they want, but that's not something that I'm going to take into account. I don't know if I don't know
Yeah.
why I went off on that spiel, but apparently somebody needed to hear that.
I love it. I so love it. Like the word Spitfire comes to mind. And I love that you put that out there that you are. I mean, you're speaking what you talk about. That's being authentic. That is truly being authentic. Every word that you said and all of that is how we show up authentically. And I love that you shared that because even though I speak it, like I said, I still need to hear that from time to time. And hearing it from somebody else helps me to reintegrate those deep messages of saying, like, this is my life and I get to live it the way I want. And we have one life to live here, right now. And even though I know time is not linear, we live multiple
Right.
lives at one time. And so
Yes.
that's a whole other topic for another day that just made head spin.
I was
But
just going to say, yes. I love it.
so I love that you went on that tangent and shared all that you shared. And congratulations on going to England and speaking. I love that. Very
Thank
good.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. It was quite an experience for sure.
Oh, I'm
Really
sure.
grateful. But
Yeah.
and I will say that happened because I embraced my authenticity. Like, I allowed that to happen. I allowed that into my space. I allowed myself to open up to that opportunity
Yeah.
because I was being authentic. Had I not chosen to own my authenticity, that opportunity would not have fallen in my lap the way it did.
Yeah.
And it literally is just a ripple effect of the choices that we're making and the thoughts that we're thinking and the things that we're doing just leads one thing to the other. It really does.
Yeah. It is. And it's about, the word manifestation, creation, all those things of like who you are, what you're putting out is creating what comes back. It's that boomerang effect of how you're showing up. And so often we think that manifestation is really just the thoughts, but it's the feelings. I
Yes.
think recently I've been hearing some great content and I love it because I am someone that loves affirmations. I love power statements. I love them. I think that they're fantastic. They shift your mind. They get you out of thinking and being in the way that you typically fall into. And so I love them. However, where they can get us caught up and feeling like they're not effective is that we don't feel what the affirmation is saying, right? Like when I stand in front of the mirror and say, I am a healthy, wealthy, worthy, confident woman, if I don't feel that, that's like going out to dead air. It's
Yeah.
a radio station that is not connecting and it's just scratching and scratching out into the universe. That's all it's doing. And it's not landing anywhere. But when I say it with conviction and I feel it in my entire body of what it's like to be a healthy, wealthy, worthy, confident woman, and I see who she is in my mind's eye in the future, and I see that and I show up like that, that's where the affirmations and the manifestation really begins to happen. And so you like calling in all of those opportunities and all the things that are coming into your life are not just because you're saying and doing the things, but you're feeling into it and you are who she needs to be in order to bring it in. I love that. Amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have learned that we are attracting who we are. And this is part of the thing that I help people with as far as awareness goes and self-discovery. Like we are calling in who we believe we are.
Yeah.
Those are the opportunities that are coming to us or that are not coming to us. Because whoever we believe we are or who we believe we are not are
Yes.
blocking those things or they're opening the door to those things. So it's the fake it till you make it kind of thing, because it is exactly what you said, all about the feelings and how you feel about who you are and what you're deserving of and how worthy you are.
Yes. Yes. So true. Very true. And that's one thing that I'm working on in this embracing the calling and being the intuitive healer, the life reinvention expert is really feeling and being that woman as if I've already achieved it. Like I already have the life and the just being. It's not even about the life. It's just I've become her. I've
Yes.
literally become her. And I'm seeing progress in it, Amy, because I have spirit guides and I don't know if,
Right.
right?
I
And one
do.
of them,
Mm-hmm.
okay, wonderful. One of my spirit guides is actually a horse. And I've watched him evolve and change. And he went from being a quarter horse to a muscled, like quarter horse, and he changed colors. And then I saw that he had wings, and I thought wings in my mind meant lift off, like leave. And so I felt fear. And I was told by my main guide, he's not leaving, he's evolving as you. And Quan is my main guide, let me know that Harley, the horse, he's got the wings. And when I fully stepped into my healing and accepted myself and no longer abandoning myself in belief for others' choices, Harley will be white. He'll be pearlescent. He'll be like the seventh plane, which is where God, the universe, the higher power is. He will look as that. And that is because I have become her.
Mm.
And so we've got the wings and there's a little bit of white on them, but we've got room to go here.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. Wow. I
Yeah.
love that so much because my spirit guides have names too.
Yes.
But mine appears as, people find this funny when I say this, as Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the
Yes.
wise, but he goes by Ben because so I
Oh,
find that
no.
amusing, but they do have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Um, at any rate, what came to my mind when you were talking about that is one of my coaches said to me one time, because I was saying, I don't know that I have what it takes to do this. I don't feel
Mm.
adequate. I don't feel prepared. I don't feel ready to step into this role that I know that I'm supposed to step into. And she said, Amy, very like in my face, Amy, look at what you have done. Like, go back to how far you have come and look at the strength it took you. Because I don't know how much of my story that you know, but I lived 10 years with a broken neck that went undiagnosed for six
Mm.
months. And so I fought my way through the medical and the disability system and reclaimed my life. And I wrote a whole book about it and became a bestseller in 2 days, took on a life of its own. And so I went through a lot to
Right.
get to where I am now. And she said, you have already used, you already have the strength that you need. You have used it before in the past. You need to
Mhm.
take that and apply it to the situation you're in now. It's already there, it's already in you. You're just not seeing it and using it in this way. And I was like, gosh, you're good. Like it was so true. And it's
Yes.
true for all of us. Like we all
Yes.
have used and have had this capacity in us. We're just not seeing it and being able to use it in the situation that we're in right now. But it's
Yeah.
totally available for us to do that if we
Yeah.
call it in and ask for it to be used right now.
Yeah. And I feel like the best way that I'm learning to bring that in is when we can, meditation is something that I've learned to love and embrace. And I utilize that. And when I'm in meditation, and it doesn't always have to be meditation because some people aren't there. I wasn't there for a
Yeah.
long time. Guided meditation brought me in to be able to do my own meditations. But also in journaling or any time where we're just
Oh, yeah.
alone, right? Where we've got that alone time where we can shut out the world, like no watch, no phone, and we can just be present with ourselves and be open and honest. I've found that for me and for my women that I work with is the more that we can have those little pockets of time where nobody's pressure, thoughts, feelings, emotions, anything is around us and we're just us, you really start to connect in that self-discovery of understanding who you are, what makes you click, what makes you tick, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and you can be honest with yourself, right? Like you can truly sit there and say, you know what, I know that I tell my husband that I like coffee and I've been saying that for 13 years, but I really don't. Like you can just feel like that confidence to be able
Yes.
to claim your truth, and it
Yes.
starts there, right? It starts in those little small spaces of safety. And then before long, your voice grows volume and it grows strength. And you're saying it around people. And I'll tell my women, like, when you go to the grocery store or you go out, just tell some random person something like, I don't like coffee. And yeah, they're going to look at you and say, okay, I'm glad to know that. But you practiced it and you said it to somebody
Yes.
in human form. And the more you do that, the more confident you get to say those things that you're scared to say. And the more your mind subconsciously hears it, the more it begins to understand, oh, Tara wants people to know this. Tara doesn't. So when you go to lie, the next time your subconscious mind is like, whoa, well, that's an old version. We've up leveled. We don't play that game anymore. And you'll feel that squeeze of not allowing yourself to be that person. So I feel compelled to share that because somebody needs to hear that. And
Yes.
maybe I need to rehear that for myself. But I just think that's one of the best ways to be able to start allowing yourself to show up confidently.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that so much because there are a couple things that really struck me. The piece of just doing something small, something that feels like it
Yes.
may not be, it may be insignificant. Like,
Yeah.
okay, it's not a big deal if you don't really like coffee. Like, that's not going to ruin a relationship. That's not going to
Yeah.
end the world. It's something really insignificant and start there. I love that.
Yeah.
And starting with a stranger, we talked about this before we started recording, but people tell me things that they haven't told anyone else, and they say things on my show that they're surprised that they've said. And I think part of that is because I'm a stranger,
Yeah.
and not only is it a safe place, but I'm a stranger. Like, it's not going to really impact their lives. Obviously the world's going to know because this show is spread to the
Right.
world, But you know what I mean? Like it's just, you
Yeah.
feel like you're not telling someone that knows who you are. Like you could tell me anything about you and I wouldn't know the difference. So
Yeah.
it's so true that saying it to a stranger who doesn't know any better is really, really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, at one point, I still am going to do this. I still have this in mind. I guess I haven't shared this openly, but here it goes. I do have this plan to go. I really want to take this holding space with Authentically Amy into coffee shops just around the world. I want to set up a table with my little sign and be there as a stranger or to hold space for people just like this so that they can have a stranger to say something to because I had a mental health issue and
Yeah.
had someone been sitting at a table with a sign that said, I'm here to hold space for you, that I didn't know, I probably would have said something to them. But
Right.
I didn't say anything to anyone because I was ashamed, because people
Right.
knew me and
Right.
knew my story. And so it is really, really powerful. I love that you brought that up, that the stranger
Yeah.
piece. So good.
And you know what? Honestly, I truly know without a doubt that your guides connected with my guides, and I was supposed to say coffee. Like I was just supposed to say that because that was supposed to be brought to you as a very powerful message of this has been on your heart. You've been thinking about
Yeah.
it, and we needed to bring it front and center for you to just really know that that's something that's on your heart to do, and it's an important next step for you.
Mm.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
it is so beautiful. It is.
I
And it
love
goes right along with one of my mantras that I won't share because it's extremely personal, but it really, really hits home with one of
it.
my mantras. So thank you for listening and for sharing that.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely. You're
special.
so welcome.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Whew. So we have kind of gotten, I love this so much. We've kind of gotten into how you're helping people, things that you share with your clients. But I
Okay.
want to come back around to what you're dealing with. Like, I don't want to just gloss over that because I know that you have some things that
Yeah.
you're dealing with too. And I want to be respectful of that. I don't want to just be like, okay, we're done with you. We're moving on. I want to
Yeah.
come back to that and just see if there's
Sure.
anything else that feels heavy or like you want to bring forward.
Honestly, there's not. You know, I really truly believe that just being able to say it out loud and express it to the microphone, to you, to the world of all the
Yeah.
listeners, really just helps me release that fear and know that the time is now. And, you know, I'm reminded, I'm also a motivational speaker. And so I'm reminded you can't say the right thing to the wrong people. And you can't say
Mm,
the wrong thing to the right people. And
yeah.
so it's knowing that, you know, I just saw this message too. My guides have been working overtime of being like, Tara, what else do we need to bring to you? Like you're exhausting us. Of like every time you silence yourself for the people that you're afraid will hear your voice, those that are praying to hear your voice don't get to hear it.
Mm,
And so this conversation just brings both of those very powerful reminders to me and just help me know that I am choosing me, every bit of me, regardless of the thoughts, regardless of the comments, the emotions, because there are women in this world that truly need what I offer. And I can't hold out on them anymore because of my own fears. So thank you. Thank you for circling back.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
held amazing space. You have some magical ability in doing that. So
Oh,
thank you for that.
yeah, of course. You have a message that only you can share, that
True.
someone else can say exactly what you just said. Someone else can say the same words that you're saying, but
Mm,
for you to say it with your voice and the cadence that your voice has and what I'm trying to say, the tone and all of that, the magic that your voice holds
mm,
to put
yeah.
that message into the world has to come from you. It can only come from you because there's no one with your story and your experience and that can share that message the way you can. It
Yeah.
reminds me that I have started using specific verbiage in my branding. And I have seen other people who follow me begin to use that same verbiage in the things that they're sharing. And at first I was like, I was almost offended. Then I got to where, I think that's a compliment. And then
Mhm.
it came a full circle and it said, it doesn't matter if they say the same words. It's not going to hit the same way that it hits when I say it or when I spread it or when I share it. And that
Yeah,
is my message to share. That's my message to spread. And
so
that
true.
is the magic that I hold for the world. And it's the
Yeah.
same for you. It's the magic that you hold for the world that only you can bring. And
Yes.
I love that you are on here, that you chose my
Yeah.
show to come spread this message and to own this and to share it with the world and to embrace it. And I
Thank
just
you.
cannot wait to watch you bloom and soar and grow and
Thank
whatever I
you.
can do to support you. It's just so, so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I am excited as well. I have been Sherry saying I'm an intuitive healer. However, it's been very guarded and safe. And,
Yeah.
we're just going to just start whipping in and going and doing. So thank you for that. I love it. So love this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So Tara, the
Yeah.
intuitive healer, this is your
Yes.
title, right? This is
Yes, ma'am.
we are
Yes.
we are owning it with
We are
Tara the
owning it.
intuitive healer.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So beautiful. So now that Tara the intuitive healer has shared that this is what you're owning and who you are now, how do you help people? What do you offer? How can people get a hold of you? What kind of things how do you work with people?
Yeah, such a great question. I recently started dabbling into human design, and wow,
Oh,
what a mind-blowing thing. I mean, if that doesn't make you realize that you are okay as you, I don't know what else can. So as a profile 6'2", it's all about authenticity, and it's about living my journey and bringing in, I think the point of me bringing this up is multiple different things, like a unique blend of modalities in order to create a transformation, which is what I've always done. And then I felt like, well, you shouldn't be doing that because you're supposed to niche down to just like one type of people.
yeah.
And I could
Oh,
never follow that. I could never do that. I try so hard and realize it just wasn't supposed to be. And so I would do it under the radar so that the niche police wouldn't find me. So when I work with women, I'm working in the space of healing. And as a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, I work in releasing limiting beliefs. So we all have around on average 67,000 thoughts a day that flow through our mind. And 95% of those thoughts are thoughts that are ones that we're not even aware of. They're on autopilot. And a good portion of them are limiting beliefs that we believe to be true for us. And they could have come in our imprinting phase of 0 to 7 years old, during our birth, before our birth, in the womb, or even past life or passed down generationally. So, a big portion of my work with women in helping them to be able to lose weight, helping them to be able to reclaim their voice and finally live the life that they dreamed of living, taking back control, is truly uncovering the limiting beliefs so that we can release that. We take them out of their programming so they no longer exist. So, for instance, one of the most common beliefs that I come across with women that I work with is I'm not enough.
mm,
It's not good enough, smart enough. It is I am not enough. And this flows into everything that they do. And once we identify the root cause, that very moment that they decided that to be true for them, and we release it, they start to blossom and grow, and things begin to occur in their life that they never thought was going to be possible for them. So it's one of the biggest ways that I work with women, is really unleashing them from the beliefs that have been keeping them stuck and creating barriers in their life. And then in the space of healing, I have a soul medicine session. And this is where we actually release the negative energy out of the 9 areas of our body. So fear, anger, guilt, resentment, this deep rooted fear that comes from this lifetime, past lifetimes, passed down generationally. And then we integrate back in the positive energy, the opposite of that negative. So I work with healing and releasing and clearing women of what's blocking them from being their authentic, their true self.
Oh,
So
so good.
thank you.
I'm curious, do you do EMDR therapy? It reminds me of this.
It's not that, but
Okay.
it would be something that people would open up to talk about it because that's something that they've probably experienced EMDR. And in fact, that is after I lost my sister, that was what started to open me up to shift my life was a practitioner in EMDR that
Mm,
helped me heal through a childhood experience that was blocking me. So that honestly was the opening point of leading me into this next level self of me. Yeah.
it's so powerful. I did EMDR for my medical trauma
Yeah.
and uncovered so many other things. Like you don't have control
Yes.
over what's going to come up, what's going to surface. And there
Yes.
were things that surfaced that I had no idea were impacting my life at all. They were on such a deep level,
Yep.
so below the surface, I didn't even register. And when they
Yeah.
surfaced, it was like, I can see it now. I understand how that was impacting me. And so,
Yeah.
if what you're doing is even more powerful than that, or can get at that area like that, oh my gosh, I highly recommend that. It's so powerful and freeing. And it just, oh,
Yeah. It really is. And it gets into those cellular levels where we have no idea that it's happening. We don't realize that it's within us. And also negative energy, as empaths. And I think
yeah.
that the vast majority of women and men as well. And of course, for me, I work with women and there's a woman out there that says, and a few good men. So there are some men that do work in my space as well. It's clearing out that energy that we take on. So in our energetic field, if we aren't taking care of ourselves, our aura becomes very porous. And so that means it can take on a lot. It takes on energy that's not ours. It makes us give our energy away. We're just in a really constant state of taking what's not ours and giving away what is ours. And I always look at it as a puzzle piece. I think that's the best analogy is that you have this beautiful puzzle when put together is just this magnificent overall picture. And all of a sudden you've got these pieces and you're like, they don't belong. They're entirely the wrong, they don't fit, they're the wrong color. That I mean, this is about an elephant and this is coming from a house. Like I can't figure this out. And so what's happening in this of what I'm talking about is that you're taking other people's puzzle pieces and you're taking your own puzzle pieces and giving to them. So your puzzle's never, ever going to be
Oh,
finished because you're giving pieces of yourself away and taking pieces that aren't yours. And what happens, Amy, is that we begin to be them. So when you're feeling out of sync with yourself and out of alignment and
yeah.
feeling like, why did I just say this? Why am I
Yeah.
feeling so frustrated? Why do I feel this? I typically wouldn't. And you think about just going in and connecting and asking, you start to find pieces of yourself that actually are not yours and they're living through you in that energy. So all of the things that I do is help release that so that we can be as healthy as possible on the inside, gain that confidence, take that stance, go after the life that we desire to be, and boldly claim our authenticity.
Ah, I love that analogy. I had heard this before, but never with that analogy. And that analogy makes so much sense to me. I have a friend who is an astrologist, or she studies astrology, and she said to me that she said your aura is like a warm hug. Like when you or in anybody, she said when anybody comes into your orbit, they feel like you're giving them a warm hug just by being close to you. And she said that's you're giving pieces of yourself away by hugging
Yeah.
them with your aura. And I was like,
Yes.
but I want to, like, I want them to feel that way with me. That's, I work hard to be that, to be open and be receptive. And,
Yeah.
she was like, yes, but you have to also protect that you can't just constantly give that away. But with the
Yep.
way you put it, now I see what's happening. Not only am I giving those pieces away of myself, but I'm also taking on some of their energy as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm also like you, where I want people to feel comfortable around me. I want to welcome them in. I want that. And so I've learned that I also have to be sure that I'm doing grounding, that I'm clearing out, that I'm protecting, however, allowing them to be able to get close to. And so when I find, and it's just setting that intention of only that for which is my highest good is allowed inside of my bubble. I always call it a bubble. And so that is indicating that anything that's not for your highest good, anybody or anything that's going to cause you harm or discomfort or take you out of alignment with your authentic self, that bounces off your bubble. And it's important to say it gets sent back to sender and divine with love. There's so much negativity that goes out there. Let's just send love. And the more that we send love as a collective, we're rising the frequency and the vibration of the world. And so I think it's really important to make sure that we're sending it out with love and just saying that only that, which is my highest good, is allowed inside my bubble. And then every night, taking that time to just close your eyes and just relax in and just say, I call back all of my energy, all energy that belongs to me. I call it back now and bring it back in. And I'm all about visualization. So I love to see like these ropes or whatever you want to call, pool noodles, whatever works,
Wow.
these lines of different colors and be like, ooh, there it's coming there and there it's coming there.
Yeah, mine's are streams of light. Mine are streams of
Yeah.
light. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it's just bringing it back. It's really important to do that. And I have to do that because I want my aura to be open. I'm just a hugger by nature. My husband is not like he's learned to be after this many years. He's just learned. But I remember the first time hugging him, he's like, what are we? I'm like, I'm hugging you. It's a hug. We're okay.
Whether you want to or not.
Yeah. Now he just knows. Now he knows. So yeah, it's keep your aura welcoming. Just know that taking care of yourself and protecting yourself is also an important step.
Yeah, that's so helpful. Thank you for that. And it
Yeah.
reminds me, I love the fact that we're sending love back, that, we're not just sending the negativity back, we're sending it with love. That's so powerful. And,
Yeah.
research, like scientific research shows that we think love is the most powerful force on the planet, but
Yes.
that authenticity actually vibrates at a frequency that is higher than love. So the strongest force on our planet is not love, it's authenticity. So all
Amazing.
of this, coming full circle here to
Yeah.
embrace our authentic selves by not only protecting ourselves, but
Right.
sending love and being authentic with other people gives them permission to do the same. And it's going
So
to
true.
change the world. I have to look at my notes over here. I have this written down. This came to me the other day and I wrote it down, and it says, authenticity isn't just a personal choice, it's a cultural force
Mm,
because it can
yeah.
change our entire culture if we embrace it. So, not trying to get off on that, but it just reminded me, with love and authenticity combined, man, imagine the impact that we can make on this
Yes.
earth.
So
Yeah.
true. And it doesn't
Beautiful.
surprise me that authenticity is the strongest power that we can feel because it really is laced with love. I feel when you
Yeah.
are authentic, you have nothing but unapologetic love for yourself and you don't apologize for being you. And that's the highest level of love ever that you can give to yourself. And I think that loving others is so strong and so powerful. But when you give yourself self love and you care for yourself, that just radiates out. And like you said, it gives other people permission to love themselves. That's another big myth that I work with, and one that I had to work on myself too, of believing that it's selfish to love yourself. There were
Mm.
years that I could not say, I love you back. Like that was a foreign concept to me of even knowing that I could look in the mirror and say, I love you. I remember the first time starting Louise Hay's mirror work
Oh,
and
yes.
listening to her in her video or the audio saying, you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I love you, followed by your name. And I remember shutting that off. I'm like, I'm not doing this. She's crazy. She's but I grew up with a mom that, you would I'd tell her, you look good. And she would instantly say, sure, it'll pass in the dark. So she wasn't able to love
Yeah.
herself. And so I followed in those footsteps until I didn't. and I started to do different for myself.
Yeah, it is so true. I am at the place in my life now where I love myself so strongly and so deeply and so fiercely and so passionately that I struggle to find someone else who can love me the way I love me. You know, it
Sure.
not that it's a problem, but
Right.
that when you start doing this and embrace your authenticity and begin to learn to love yourself fully and completely and authentically, like it really is hard to match that in any other person. You really can't match that because we all have that inside us. The strongest love we have for ourselves. It's exactly what you said. We just suppress it because we're
Yeah.
taught that it's selfish, but it's not. Like we
Yeah.
have to get to that point to be the person that we need to be to live the life and make the impact that we're supposed to make on this earth. So
So
powerful.
true. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So
it
good.
always brings me back to the mask when you're on the airplane. Think about, I don't know about you, Amy, but I remember the first time hearing that and thinking, I'm supposed to give the mask to myself first, but what about him? Like, am I not supposed
Wow.
to save him first? So it's really, I think that that's such a great way of looking at it too. Brings me to mind of just reminding that that's how we naturally think about self-love is we have to give the mask to the other person first. And when we've done a good enough job of that, we've secured and we know that we've saved them, then and only then can we give the mask to ourselves? Unless, of course, there's 50 other people around us, then we have to make sure we give the mask, right? That's how we're
Exactly.
raised or how we,
Yes.
yes. And it's so important to shift. I'm hearing spiritually, not just from my guides myself, but so many other women that are in that taking a feminine stance of 2027 being a year of feminine leaders rising up and really taking the stance in their authenticity and their power and their belief and love and all things. Like, and of course, if men listening, please know that I'm a mom of 3 boys and I love my boys with all my heart. And so I'm never about replacing men with women. For me, it's not about being a man led, woman led. It's about being a united led. That
Yes.
is where I'm at. And that's where I want us to get to. And I believe that the only way we can get to a united led world is when we women gain that confidence, that authenticity, and that willingness, that absolute determination to love ourselves enough to stand as an equal next to a man is when we will become united. And that's
Mm,
what we're working to do. I mean, that's what you're working to do. That's what I'm working to do. I
yeah.
think that as a collective across a large number of women is what we're working to do is improve the world because we're going to stand next to the men and lead together.
Absolutely. I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, but it makes so much sense to me. And it is so true that society teaches us that we are lesser. And so we
Yes.
do have to stand in our authenticity to be able to stand next to them and see each other as equals because we are. That's
Yes.
so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love
You're
it.
welcome.
Oh,
You're
so
welcome.
good. Oh my gosh. I could talk to you all day. Like this is so good.
Same.
Uh,
I have
uh,
never been on a podcast that has been, I mean, I've had many episodes of being a guest that I've loved, but my
yeah.
point to that is this has just been flow. This has just been fun. There's not been scripted or having to
Oh,
remember to answer this question or that question. I love this conversation, and I sure hope that your listeners as well gain the value of just you and I being authentic.
oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. I want to be respectful of your time, and I just thank you so, so much for being authentic and real and allowing me to hold space for you and being vulnerable and willing to share what you shared today. I just want to commend you again and
Thank you.
celebrate you in this new role that you're taking on, this new mission, and that your sister is there supporting you. It's just so, so beautiful. So congratulations and thank you again for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being you and continuing to do what you do. I know I shared with you prior just how I feel about what you're doing and how beautiful I think it is. And I just want to share again that you're really making a difference in allowing people to come through and be themselves. And that is hugely important. And I appreciate that. It was at first uncomfortable for me to allow you to hold space because I feel like I should be strong enough to not need someone to hold space for me. And
Sure.
you allowed me to realize that I need to let that go and allow another beautiful woman who is strong enough to hold space for me to do that. And you did.
Mm.
And I absolutely love and appreciate that you did that for me. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, you are very welcome. You're gonna make me cry. That just hits me in my heart. That's the whole reason I do what I do, you know.
Oh,
Thank you for recognizing it and acknowledging it. It just really, I mean, it means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
absolutely. You are
Yeah.
welcome.
Oh my goodness. Well, if I forgot to ask you how people can reach you, and I will put your links in the show notes.
Thank you. Definitely. Of course, the typical, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, I'm on those places. My website also will be there, www.tara-wiskow.com. That's another place that you can find out information about me. I do on my website, if you go there, you'll see that I have a couple of freebies that are there. So if you want to go through, there's a 4-part video series about shifting and releasing identities that don't fit you to help you step into your truest self. That is again a 4-part video series that's there. So if anybody's interested in it, please check out my website and have at it. You get to, this will either make it or break it. You get to listen to my voice in 4 different parts. It's like almost 4 hours. So that'll make or break who goes to pick it.
Well, I'm definitely going to check it out. I know for sure. I'm so excited to learn more about what you do and maybe sign up to be a client. Like, this is
Oh
so
my goodness.
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I would
Thank
be
you.
truly honored to get to travel the
Yeah.
journey with you, Amy.
Yeah,
Thank
of course. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you again for being here. Thank you all for watching, for listening, for tagging along for another episode. Please share this so that we can get this message out to the world, to more people. And until next time, I will be here holding space for you. Thank you for being here. And to my guest, thank you for your honesty, your courage, and your truth. It's an honor to hold space for people like you. If something in this episode stirred something in you, if you breathed deeper, softened, or felt a pull inward, consider this your invitation. Whether you're ready to share publicly or prefer to remain anonymous, I'd love to hold space for you too. This work isn't just for podcasts, it's for people everywhere. And I'm bringing it into businesses, schools, communities, organizations, anywhere humans need a place to be and for someone to hold space for them. To learn more or to schedule your own session or to be a guest on this podcast, visit www.getamyshelp.com or just reach out to me. I'll meet you with open arms and a quiet, sacred seat. Until next time, thank you for being beautifully, unapologetically human.